Hello creators and creative friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do head swapping using the Krea 2 model inside ComfyUI. First, let's take a quick look at what you can actually achieve with this workflow. All the tasks I'm going to show you today are quite challenging. For example, take a look right here on the screen. The head shot on the left is our head reference image. As you can see, the woman's hair is pulled back loosely into a low ponytail. My goal is to swap her head onto the woman in the image on the right. However, there's a catch. The woman in the right image has long flowing hair. If we change that long hair to short hair, the actual area where the hair used to be needs to be filled in with new background pixels seamlessly. So the question is, can this workflow handle such a tricky situation? As you can see, the transition is completely seamless. The face matches nicely and the pose stays completely consistent. Even her fingers look totally correct. Now let's move on and look at another task. In this one, you can see that the fork and the cherry tomatoes stay exactly where they are supposed to be. The whole head swapping process here is also very smooth, without obvious artifacts. Let's check out just one more quick demonstration before we move on. Alright, if you are interested in trying this workflow yourself, let's jump into Running Hub to see exactly how it works. If you haven't heard of Running Hub before, don't worry. It's simply a Comfy cloud platform that comes with almost all the models and nodes already pre-installed for you. For more information on that, you can check out the links in the video description down below. Our workflow today includes 5 different node groups. The third group is specifically designed for changing hairstyles. However, it's not always necessary to use it in every single case. Because of that, let's just go ahead and deactivate it for now. I'll explain exactly when you need to use it a bit later in the video. Now let's look at our inputs. This first image is the target where you want the new head to go. Then this second image is our headshot, which serves as the head reference. I use the human segmentation node to generate a mask specifically for her clothes. After that, I use the image and mask preview node. This step covers the clothes area completely with the solid white color. In this specific case, the clothes area only includes 2 shoulder straps. So you might wonder why I even did that. The reason is simple. If I didn't cover up the clothes, some parts of her outfit might accidentally bleed into the final image. We only want to transfer her head, not her clothes. Alternatively, you could also just crop the reference image before you even upload it. That way you only keep her head and crop out the clothes entirely from the start. Once we finish processing that uploaded reference image, we are ready for the next step. It's time to hand these images over to Krea 2 for the actual editing process. Let's go down to the last node group in the workflow. Down here, I'm using 2 different LoRAs and chaining them together. The first one is an absolute must-have for any Krea 2 edit workflow. The second one is very special, as it was trained specifically for head swapping tasks. The original author of this LoRA actually published a dedicated head swap workflow to go along with it. Let's jump over to Hugging Face for a moment and take a look at his setup. First things first, let me hit the like button just to show some support for the author. Now if you look under the Files and Versions tab, you'll see there are many different LoRAs trained for head swapping. The specific Krea 2 version is this one right here. If you want to download it for yourself, just check the link I've provided in the video description below. Now let's navigate over to the Workflows folder. The third file in this list is built specifically for Krea 2. I went ahead, downloaded it, and imported it straight into Running Hub. Let's run it and see how it performs on our image. So this node right here is the head swap LoRA. Actually, this is the only LoRA being used in his original workflow. The general identity edit LoRA isn't used here at all. The strength is simply set to 1. And right below that, you'll find the trigger prompt. Let's take a look at the final output image. At first glance, it doesn't have any major obvious issues. However, the image resolution is a bit too small, coming in at only 1024 by 1024 pixels. Furthermore, The skin on the face has a very plastic and artificial look to it. On top of that, her new hairstyle isn't very consistent with the original reference image. That's exactly why my setup is slightly different from this. Apart from using the dedicated head swap LoRA, I also include the identity edit LoRA. I chain both of them together in the workflow. Then I set a strength value to 0.5 for each of them. I actually spent time testing many different combinations of strength values. In the end, I have found that this specific setup gave the very best results. Let's check out our output image with my setup. Now, I know the hair still has a few minor problems here. That's exactly why sometimes you'll need to use that third node group we talked about earlier. But remember, in most normal cases, activating it is just not necessary. Let's look at another example to see what I mean. In this new case, the woman in our target uploaded image has long hair. After the swapping process, it perfectly became short hair. And the best part is that I didn't even have to activate the third group to achieve this. Now let's go back to our previous workflow with the problematic hair. This represents a much more challenging situation. In this specific case, I really need to change her long hair to short hair first, right before the head swapping happens. To help Krea 2 successfully recognize the entire hair area, I also have to paint a mask over it. Let's go ahead and do that now. Let's rerun the workflow with a mask edit. As you can see on the screen, the whole hair area is now completely covered by a blue color. With that mask in place, let's finally activate that third node group. In addition to that, you need to switch this boolean toggle right here from false to true. Once that's done, let's rerun the workflow one more time. Alright, the generation is complete. Let's check the new final output image. Now you can clearly see that this time, the head swapping was done perfectly and successfully. Let's also quickly check the output image coming straight from the third group itself. You can easily see how her hair was changed from long to short. But more importantly, look at the background. The area where the long hair used to be has now seamlessly become part of her shirt. In this third group, I purposely didn't use the head swap LoRA at all. Instead, I only connected the identity edit LoRA. For this specific setup, I set its strength all the way up to 1. I also adjusted another setting here. I set the reference boost value in this node to 4. Compare that to the last group, where the value was just left at 1. Increasing this reference boost value really helps improve the overall consistency of the body reference image. For the text prompt, I simply typed, "Fill the blue area with super short black hair and keep her pose consistent." You can absolutely customize this prompt according to whatever situation you are dealing with. However, I highly recommend keeping the back part of the prompt exactly the same. That's the part that says, "Keep her pose consistent." Including that phrase really helps ensure that her body doesn't move around during the generation. You also notice there are 2 switched nodes placed right here. If the boolean value is set to true, this newly generated image will be used as a fresh body reference image. It basically replaces the original image that I uploaded at the start. Because her hairstyle has been changed to short hair in advance, it removes the conflicting pixels. This preparation made it incredibly easy for the last node group to perform the head swap successfully. And honestly, that's the entire reason why I built that third node group into the workflow in the first place. Alright, that wraps things up for today. If you want to download this exact workflow that I built, please consider joining our community to support this channel. I also want to mention that I have built other head swap workflows based on the Flux2 client and Cuban image edit models. You can check the links below for those as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.